All right, Shalom. This is Gamal Y'all. Have a great millstone in Atlanta. I want to give all praises to YAHAWASHI, Bashim Kakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to all the Akim that are pushing out this truth and sincerity. All right, now this is a quick lesson, and I don't really have a title, but this is going to be basically along the lines of gearing your mind ready for Passover, and also the fact of being Passover. The fact of Passover being a solemn assembly, all right, because a lot of these different, well, number one, it's important to keep Passover in these times because the scriptures tell you to rehearse the righteous acts, okay, and that's what we're doing. If you're a man of the Lord, then you're going to want to follow the same acts that our forefathers, if you're, well, number one, there is such a thing as reincarnation. So if we are those men, today, then we're going to do the same things that our forefathers did. The Lord's going to put the Spirit on us to do that. Lord willing, we are those men now. We're rehearsing the righteous acts, which is important, especially in these times, because just like the Lord sent plagues on Egypt, all right, which that's the word Passover. The word Passover basically comes from, the Hebrew word is Pesach, but it's basically symbolic of the Lord passing over a judgment, from Israel. His judgment passed over Israel and landed on the Egyptians. All right. So in like manner, Israel is going to be saved. I'll say the elect is going to be saved out of America, which is modern day Egypt. All right. And the Lord is going to send plagues on this place, just like he did with Egypt. So, just a few words on Passover, just dealing with the subject in general and, whatever comes to mind, I'll bring out. All right. But you can actually read the whole Exodus 12. That's really actually a part of our ceremony. All right. When we get together, but, I'll just kind of give a general overview of what Passover is. It says, this month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. Now, in today's time, in modern time, we deal with in America, in the Western world, we deal with the Julian calendar. I'm sorry, the Gregorian calendar. All right, we're dealing with the Gregorian calendar. All right, which the start of the year, according to the Gregorian calendar, the start of the year is January 1st, which that's incorrect because that's in the middle of winter. The true start of the year is during spring. Okay. All right. So, when you deal with the moon, okay, the moon is a sign, you read the scriptures, the moon in Sirach, it says that the moon, is to tell time, in so many words. I can't think of the precept verbatim. But basically, the moon is used to tell time, right? It says the month is called after her name. So it says, this month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. Speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, in the 10th day of this month shall they shall take to them every man a lamb according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for an house. All right. And I'm not going to read this whole thing. Of course, you can go into it yourself, but I'm just going to, like I said, to get the overall vibe or, just get the overview of it. All right, but not only lamb, you need a lamb without blemish, okay, of the first year. All right, and then you kill it on the 14th day. That same lamb, you kill it on the 14th day. All right, and you take the blood, strike it on the posts of your door. All right, where you're gonna eat the lamb. All right, and it says you shall eat the flesh, basically eat the lamb, roast with fire, and unleavened bread and bitter herbs. Okay, so that's the meal. You get eat unleavened bread, lamb, and bitter herbs. All right, but and you would eat the whole lamb, and you would leave nothing of it. So whatever lamb that you have, you eat all of it. Anything that you don't eat, anything that remains, it says you burn with fire. All right. But you're supposed to eat it, loins girded, staff in your hand, and in haste, because, we were getting ready to leave. Okay. We were getting ready to flee. So the Lord was getting ready to pass, bring his judgment. It says in verse 12, it says, "For I will pass through the land of Egypt this night, and will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast, and against all the gods of Egypt I will execute judgment. I am the Lord." All right, so like I said, the Lord will pass through the land of Egypt. Okay, and he's going to smite all the firstborn Egyptians. All right. And it says, "And the blood shall be to you for a token upon the houses where ye are. And when I see the blood, I will pass over you, and the plague shall not be upon you to destroy you when I smite the land of Egypt." So that was the whole thing. It was, you see the blood, when the angels come through, they'll know that this is a house, of the Israelites. All right. And to pass on, to those death angels, to not touch that house. All right. But it says, 7 days shall ye eat unleavened bread. Even the first day you shall put away leaven out of your houses. For whosoever eateth leaveneth from the first day unto the 7th day, that soul shall be cut off from Israel. All right. So you would, eat unleavened bread, So yeah, that's the point, so you wouldn't eat any leaven. You eat in haste. You take a Passover. You take a lamb, all right, which is, without blemish. Cook it, eat it with bitter herbs and unleavened bread. And like I said, again, you would eat that unleavened bread for the next 7 days. All right. But, it's all spiritual. The Lord, it's all spiritual why the Lord did that. Okay. Because like I said, he was getting ready to judge Egypt. So, it was a way of separating the Israelites from the Egyptians, and giving them a ceremony, something to how do I say, involve in, something to do, that the Lord would excuse them and pardon them of their judgments. Pardon them of the judgment of Egypt. All right. So, yeah, that was pretty much the point. Now, the reason why this is a solemn assembly is because, well, number one, we were in captivity during the time of Egypt. We were going through a tough period. Israel was oppressed. Israel was, Israel was going through it, under the hand of Pharaoh, That's why Moses said with Pharaoh, which the Lord was dealing with Moses directly, but, Pharaoh hardened his heart. And Moses, was telling Pharaoh to let his people go, you know. Now, another reason, which, this is all connected, is that Yahawashi being killed around the Passover, you know. And so he had a last, they call it the Last Supper, all right? Because let me find it. All right, it says verse let's see where I want to start. Salakia. I'll just read from the top. It says Matthew 26, and it came to pass when Yahushua had finished all these sayings, he said unto his disciples, "You know that after 2 days is the feast of Passover, and the Son of Man is betrayed to be crucified." So that means Yahushua knew his fate already, And it says, "Then assembled together the chief priests and the scribes and the elders of the people unto the palace of the high priest, who was called Caiaphas." All right. It says, "And consulted that they might take Yahushua by subtlety and kill him. But they said, not on the feast day, lest there be an uproar among the people." So this was already planned. All right. But, this is sort of also the time of that our Lord, Yahawashi, this was around the time that Yahawashi was, he was killed. Verse 20. Now when verse 19, and the disciples did as Yahushua appointed them, and they made ready the Passover. Now when even was come, he sat down with the 12, and as they did eat, he said, "Verily I say unto you that one of you shall betray me." And they were exceeding sorrowful, and began every one of them to say unto him, "Lord, is it I?" So, this is all a very emotional time, especially for, with during this time, Yahushua, because he had to deal with it. He knew he had to deal with that cup. He had to deal with that cup. All right. Like you read, I don't know where it is, but it says, "For just like one man we all live," it says, "For one man's sins we all die." Something like that, just paraphrasing. But, so yeah, this is an emotional time, being that our Lord had to go through these things, and, he was wrongfully accused, and, these, they tortured him. All right. So this is a very solemn time. This is a time to reflect, to, ask for forgiveness. Lord willing, this may be the last Passover. We'll see. But Lord willing, we'll be out of here. And this Passover, the Lord will pass over the judgment between, Lord will pass over the judgment of the elect and forgive the sins of the elect. So that was pretty much it that I wanted to get into. So, I end off by giving all praise to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, KAKUDASH. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone. Shalom.